it's Lizzie all from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me again today. It's a really nice sunny day here in Long Whittenham. It's gorgeous. But I have got a gorgeous project for you as well, and it's in this little envelope, and it is a cute little card. Now I'm combining the fact that we're coming to the end of Celebration with my lovely spring-inspired craft box, which is based around the Gingham Gala suite. So there's lots and lots of stuff from the Gingham Gala suite, plus some cardstock and all that good stuff. But I thought we would have a look at the Hello Cupcake stamp set. The matching dies have now gone, but the stamp set is still available at the point when I'm recording this video. So this is a little note card. It's the same size as our narrow note cards and envelopes that you can get in Whisper White in the annual catalogue. So it's 4.5 inches by 2.5 inches. It is really cute. It's great for putting with a gift box, or you can in the UK actually post this. But obviously that depends on where you are in the world as to whether or not you can. So I've just cut a card base that is 5, that's the word I was looking for, 5 by 4.5 inches, and scored down the middle at 2.5 to get my card base. You would need a liner as well, but I have here they are. I have got liners as well, and these are cut at 2.25 by 4.25, and they're the same size as the front, but you can then just pop that in there. Now I tend to not put my liner in until I'm going to send something, because that way, if I make a mistake, I just cut a new liner rather than having to worry about the fact that it's already stuck to my card. So I'm going to show you how to make the card and the envelope. I've actually changed how I'm doing the embossing paste, because this is embossing paste on the top of the cupcake. I've changed it a little, but only because I've worked out an easier way of doing it. So let's start with our card base. I'm going lemon lime twist this time, as much as anything to remind you we will soon be saying goodbye to lemon lime twist. And if you want lemon lime twist or any of the other ink colours, either as ink or card or ribbon, if you don't get them soon, they will go. They're supposed to be with us until the very beginning of June, but I can guarantee you the nearer we get to the end of the annual catalogue, the less likelihood there is that you will be able to get the current in colours. I say the current, there are 2 sets of current, but the ones that are about to retire. I don't know why I picked up my snail, because I don't need it yet. So, our cupcake base. The previous one I did in balmy blue. This one, as I say, I'm doing in lemon lime twist. So I'm going to take my lemon lime twist ink pad and the cupcake case and just stamp towards the left, but just stamp up from the bottom in lemon lime twist. And I'm also going to take my Celebrate Your Day and pop that down in the bottom right corner. And then I've got my crumb cake for the bit of cake that is kind of peeking through. So crumb cake ink, this is where you need to stand on your toes so you can see through your photopolymer stamp to stamp. And there you are, beautifully lined up. The joys of photopolymer. And then finally, and this is going to seem weird, but it kind of works, I'm going lemon lime twist, and I'm just grabbing a scrap piece of grid paper, stamp off once, and then I didn't actually do that on the Blue Peter version, but I think it's going to work better. So very pale lemon lime twist for the icing. Isn't there a song, something about a cake left out in the rain and it's got green icing? Anyway, I have already cut a mask just by stamping the icing and then fussy cutting with my scissors. Now, if you have the dies, I would still fussy cut with scissors because the dies are slightly bigger than the top. You could use the die, but For me, I would rather fussy cut this. Lay that over the top and then grab your, this is the Shimmer White embossing paste, which is in the annual catalogue. Always keep the foil over the top of it because otherwise it will dry out. And then just get your spatula tool thingy. What do we call these? I can't remember what we call these, but they're in the annual catalogue. And then just spread your Shimmer White paste, probably need a bit more, onto your mask. And then try and get it into the area that the mask is covering rather than the mask itself. And then a little bit of, you know, it's icing, so let's have a bit of texture. And then remove your mask and you get that lovely finish of icing. Pop any spare paste back in the tub. Apart from anything else, it helps clean up your mask, which you can reuse. It will actually get more sturdy the more you use it because the paste will dry on it, but you do need to make sure that you clean round the edges because otherwise it will get smaller the more you use it. And then just clean that into there. Pop that to one side to dry, pop that down, pop your lid on, and then you need to clean your spatula-y thing as quickly as possible. A wet wipe is okay, but water and soap, or soap and water, would be better. But for speed, I'm using a wet wipe. Right, now that obviously is wet. So here's a little trick. We grab our trusty cheese board. What would I do without my cheese board? And just pop that under there. And grab your heat tool. And for once you don't actually need it to be hot when you attack, but it's going to be noisy, sorry. And you can actually come in quite close to dry this off. And as it dries, something magical happens. I'm going to try and have it on its side a bit because it will puff. There we go. You see that puffing up? So it gets even more three-dimensional. It won't necessarily work in puff up in all areas, but you will get quite a reasonable amount of puff. And then remove it. You'll have pushed a lot of moisture back, and then just dry it from the back as well. And then just leave it to dry finally, but that will have sped everything up quite a lot. And as I say, you can see that it's quite three-dimensional. It will be easier to show you in the photos, which will be on my blog post, which is linked immediately below this video. I have done a bit of a Blue Peter and prepared one earlier. I actually used Full Strength Lemon Lime Twist for this. I prefer the stamped off, but just for speed I'm going to finish with this one because I don't... That's a little soft. I'll risk it because I do prefer this one. So, adhesive of your choice. I would normally put this on the back of the mat that I'm sticking down, but because this is still a bit soft, I'm putting it the other way round. And then just press that down. Fold your card, and again, I would do this from the back normally, but let's not. So there is your little note card. So now we need an envelope. And this could not be easier because you're starting with a piece of 6x6 paper, which is what the paper is. It is 6x6. You can use either side. I prefer the smaller gingham. I think the large gingham reminds me too much of school uniform. So with your 6x6 piece of paper. You want to line it up to 3 3/4 on your envelope punch board and punch and score, and then all you do is follow round and punch and score and just follow round. So you're lining up this little tick mark against the fold or the crease mark that you've made. Score line, I think, is the word I'm looking for. Struggling, but so tick to score line, punch. So the only measurement you need is that very first 3 3/4 inches. And pop that away, and then come in from the other side with your corner rounder. You don't need to do these two because we're going to cut those away a bit. So that is your basic envelope, and you just fold the ends up and then fold the middle across. We are going to do this in a slightly different order. You will see, if I fold this back, you will see we're coming over the edge. So take your snips and just on one of them you can just snip a piece away without being too fussy, and then that's going to fold across, so that's going to be the inside. Then this one, I quite like it so that it's sort of halfway. Now because we've got squares, you can decide where you want to cut and then just follow the pattern of the squares. So I'm actually following, it's like following the diamonds, and then you will get a straight line. Add some snail to the back of that, and then that will fold over and form the back of your envelope. Then, preferably without going over onto your grid paper, just add some more snail and fold your flap up, and that forms your envelope. Now I'm going to be slightly careful at the moment because that is still a bit soft, but that just slips in there, and there is your envelope. It does need to go a bit further in, but I don't want to squash that. So this is the one we've just made. This is the one I made earlier. This one I just did freehand without the template. It's okay, but I do prefer it with the template. Much easier than just trying to spread this over, because it's quite difficult to get that swirl right. But with the template, and as I say, just stamp your icing onto a piece of scrap card, cut it out, and you're good to go. I hope you enjoyed that. If you would like to see what's in my Gingham Gala craft box, if you go over to my associated blog post, which is linked below, you'll find a link to the details of that craft box. You've got until the 3rd of April to order and pay. The payment needs to be with me on the 3rd at the latest. Checks will need to be with me by the 1st. What you need to do is send me an email, and then I send you an invoice. I would allow a couple of days so that you've got the invoice and paid me. Don't assume that you can do it at 9 o'clock on the 3rd of April, because I will probably be in bed at 9 PM on the 3rd of April. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I love doing the embossing paste and drying it with the heat tool, because you do get that lovely little puff. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more videos from me, there's a subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner. Please don't miss out on Celebration. Remember, for £45 or every multiple thereof, you can get free product. All the information for that, if you go over to my website and click on the online store, you'll find all the information. It's on my website anyway, on the sidebar, but you can see everything on my online store. Place an order of £200 or more and you get extra stamping rewards. And then, of course, if you wanted to join my team, if you are in France, Austria, the Netherlands or Germany, or of course the UK, then you can join and get that amazing starter kit. Just the starter kit, or the starter kit and the carrot tote, and the craft and carry tote. So there are two options, but they run out on the 31st of March. Those offers will be gone. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.